Hello everyone, welcome back to the Mercury Esports Overwatch Podcast. It's our third one. We're a little bit late, but you know, here we are, and we're going to make up for it, hopefully, by doing two this week. Hopefully. I don't want to curse us.
Nope, we will. I'm cursing us, fuck it.
Okay. So this one, we're just going to do a bit of news. So just a bit of general stuff, because there has been some big stuff happening recently, such as Chipsa joining the Overwatch League. Cake. Do you know who Chipsa is? What is your initial reaction to this?
I of course I do know who Chipsa is, and I think he is a great Doomfist. He's a good Doomfist.
Good Doomfist on ranked.
Yeah, on ranked. That's pretty much my next point. I don't know if he's fit for Overwatch League, but we'll find out, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't want to write him off. I don't want to write him off too soon.
Okay. Well, All right. Well, first of all, I need to introduce you. Your name is Cake. And my name is Bildorious. But I'm gonna make a hot take immediately.
Okay. Let's go.
Ready for this?
Yeah, I am.
Chipsa is the worst signing of the whole off season. In terms of players. I don't know if that's actually a hot take. I feel like that's kind of.
Yeah, that's a popular opinion, I feel like. But I'm like, I kind of want to give him a chance, because I feel like they must have done like a triad, right?
Yeah.
There must have been a triad, and how an Overwatch League team wouldn't just take him in if he was actual hot trash, right?
Well, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know how these things like progressed, but
yeah. So this has sparked a lot of discussion, if you didn't already know, amongst the Overwatch League community.
Yeah.
And I've written down the most important facts as well as some quotes from streamers. And I've got I'm going to put a couple of links to other videos in the description once this is uploaded.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start off. Okay, so list of facts first of all. We have the benefit of knowing everyone else's opinion because we're so late to this, which is great.
That's true.
So,
yeah.
Chipsa, if you didn't know who he was, he's a streamer. He's known for being quite ragey. He was one trick in Doomfist back before he was meta. I think he said on stream that his Doomfist was pro level, and if he grinded Genji, he could probably get that to pro level as well. Which I don't know if I believe that.
No, but he's really cocky. If I dare to say, he's like full of himself. Well, he's like, I don't know, he's loud, full of himself, a little bit confident. Yeah, confidence is good though.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I don't know if it's bravado though. If it's like false confidence. If he actually went on stage, he would just like maybe he wouldn't.
I don't know. I feel like he'll get destroyed in Overwatch League, to be honest.
So he's been signed for his Doomfist, obviously. There's no chance they're going to bring him out to play Genji, right?
No.
But as far as we know, I don't know if Doomfist is going to be meta, because we've just had this big patch, which still hasn't come through yet, which is basically shook everything up. So we don't even know if Doomfist is going to be meta. I think Nunlocked said something on HitScan, the channel, saying that the DPS meta would be May Reaper. So,
yeah, but I still feel like Doomfist could be good in the upcoming meta.
Yeah, I think so too.
He's not going to be bad. Not going to be bad at all. And I've watched Chipsa, and his Doomfist is good in ranked. Say again, he has the proper skill set for Doomfist.
He's mechanically gifted. And he understands the hero.
I've seen some plays he made, and they actually are insane sometimes. Yeah, but I don't know if he could be consistent in Overwatch League.
So here's the thing. He's joined Philadelphia Fusion, which has EQO. EQO is also a very, very good Doomfist. I think Carpe is as well. He's also on Fusion. And you got to bear in mind that like Reddit plays like rollouts, kind of like the one you see on Iconward, where you go from the tower and then you seismic slam and get a big uppercut. You know that one?
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
So that they actually aren't allowed in tournament play. Like I don't know how many people know this, but it's genuinely a thing. Like you'll get told off for doing them.
Yeah.
If you're doing like wild rollouts in a tournament, they'll just it depends on the tournament, but I don't think they even allow it in Overwatch League at all. Mm-hmm. So that's like the kind of thing that he does. So if you want a Doomfist to play within Overwatch League rules, play around his team, Ikuro just seems like a better option, and he's more flexible as well.
But I don't know if that's his sole value though, because he's mechanically really skilled. I feel like, yeah, of course you only see him play ranked right now, but if they can get, I don't know, he has some value to him, right? Because he's mechanically really skilled. If he can actually use it in team play, that would be good.
I'm sure he'd do okay if they put him in on Doomfist, but they'd get in trouble if they needed to swap comp. And I think Ikuro would be better. That's the thing. I think Ikuro would be better.
But wait, Jayne actually called this out. That this was like, isn't his like brother or something coaching?
Yeah, I've got that.
Okay.
A bit later.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll get on that.
Yeah. Perfect.
But so the next thing you need to know, Chipsa hasn't played since early 2017 on a team, and I think that was a tier 3 team. I don't know much about them. Mm-hmm. So basically, it kind of seems like a publicity stunt, but they're saying that it's not. He's going to play. But I feel like if you were trying to win with Philadelphia Fusion, which is not always the case, free fraggy. I mean, he's not on the team anymore, but still. I was still mad that he missed Goatsmare. But if you were trying to win, and that was your primary objective on Philadelphia Fusion, there was no way you would ever run Chipsa, unless you were running like Doom, Pharah. But then you have Ivy as well, so why would you? I don't know.
He's a smart player, but I don't think he's fit for a team. He's just a solo queue player, right?
Wait, there's players like that, isn't there? Who just I feel like I'm one of those players who just thrives in ranked and would just do awful in
I don't know. No, that's me probably. I think you could.
There's more than one. We can.
I think you would be good on a team because you have the deeper insight. I just don't care. Which is, I don't know.
I'm rubbish in the moment. If someone was like, okay, do ult tracking and then plan a fight, I'd just be like, okay, well, do they have this ult?
No, you see the bigger picture though in a game. I just play my game.
I'm better off as a coach in a team.
Well, no, you see the bigger picture in a game as well though. But that's I don't know. I just play the game, basically. I feel like you actually know and feel what's happening. Yeah.
And then get really angry.
Yeah, you do think about things too. Yeah, that's true. You do actually, and that's why I don't get.
Dude, today I'm in a bad mood because earlier I was playing tank, and man, there was a few times where I was on Reinhardt, right, and I was actually doing decent on Reinhardt, but it was just so good because I had to come out for the stall on last point at Temple of Anubis.
Yeah.
And it was just basically like a 3-minute fight. And I didn't feel like I had any power at all. I'm just holding left click, getting booped around and knocked up and occasionally shielding when I get low. Tank is just such a mess. I don't know how anyone at Blizzard, they have GM players who play tank, go into rank, load up the game, go into the game, play tank like that, where they just get rolled over and they barely are able to see what's going on. And then they go into work next day like, yeah, I think the game's alright, guys. I think we can probably...
This is fine.
Yeah. I like it. Let's work on Overwatch 2. Let's go work on Overwatch 2 instead.
Yeah.
Okay, well, short rant over.
Avoiding the problem, dude. Avoiding the problem. Just avoid it as long as you can. No, I agree with
that. The main drama around Chipsa is about tier 2. But there's lots and lots of players who've been around for years, acknowledged to be really, really good players, and just don't get a spot. Like, I feel like the worst case of that is Kaiser. But you were going to say something. Go on.
I feel like being a tier 2 player and being a streamer, like a well-watched streamer, is basically, well, they're on the same level pretty much, right? Because a streamer is out there, he's showing what his capability every day on stream, and then there's tier 2 players who also are being watched in tier 2. So it's kind of like the same amount of exposure, so that kind of makes sense. That's kind of makes sense.
It depends how big your stream is.
Yeah, for sure. No, but let's say even if you have 200 viewers, it's just you're out there, you're showing what you can do.
Have you heard of do you know Fissure?
Yeah.
You do know Fissure?
I do.
Oh, blimey. Okay. Well, who's more famous, Fissure or Harblue?
I've heard
you don't know Harblue?
I've heard of him, but I mean, I don't even know what he plays.
Maybe you're not a good example for this.
No, I don't think I am.
Okay, worst example is Kaiser, right? Kaiser has been insane since the start of the game. He's been a really, really good Reinhardt, really solid main tank, and he's still not in Overwatch League. 3 years in, he still doesn't have a contract. And I am upset on his behalf.
But
anyway,
he must have tried out for teams, right? Or no?
Yeah, probably loads of teams.
Because it must be obvious. If you look at him, like, he's fucking insane. And then there must be teams, coaches, managers, whatever, who are just trying him out. But there must be a reason why he's not getting in, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, there's a lot of good main tanks in Overwatch League.
I feel like there's a lot in the managing and the coaching roles that we don't see or think about, which is happening for sure. It must be, right?
Yeah, well, sometimes, like, when it's just you and a team, it's really hard to figure out, like, where your weaknesses are and what your problems are. So, like, from your perspective isn't, it doesn't cover everything. You don't see everything. So, something that looks like a strength to you might actually be, like, a massive weakness. I feel like maybe Zachary was the case with that. Like, Aero sees this player who's willing to learn, who's really professional, who's hardworking, but the rest of the world just sees this player who's not very mechanically skilled. So when he's working with him one-on-one, this is all conjecture. Like, I have no...
Yeah.
But when he's working with him one-on-one, he's not gonna... Well, I mean, he does have an opportunity to see mechanical skill, but this is sort of an example. He doesn't see the full picture. I mean, he sees more than most because he's a brilliant coach. But
I feel like that's like a whole different thing, though, because I feel like if you actually are coaching the guy and you feel like you just have this feeling there's so much potential, he's a good guy, he wants to learn.
Yeah.
And you'll probably give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe
you'll forgo the lack of mechanical skill for willingness to improve.
Yeah, exactly. He's a great team player. He has great communication. Everything's fucking insane. We're trying to make him mechanically better, but taking a while. You're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess since he's already on a contract, and you can't really get rid of a bad player once they're already on a contract.
No, yeah, true.
Okay, so Jayne. Now we're going to talk about Jayne. So Jayne is very, very upset. He is he is the foremost voice against the Chipsa signing. I would like to say that I'm also not against the Chipsa signing, even though it is the worst in the off season.
Yeah,
I'm not against it because he's got a lot of fans, and he's going to bring it. Like when he gets up on stage for the first time, you know there's going to be a massive roar from the crowd.
Have you thought about this? That might even be the play.
Yeah. Maybe.
Right? Just Cloud, pretty much. I mean,
it kind of, I don't know. Maybe that's what they're into over at Philly.
It could be the play. I don't know.
I mean, like you just put him in for like a Doomfist map, and then the crowd loves you. Everyone's really happy. Chipsa gets to say you played in Overwatch League, and then you probably do okay because it's a Doomfist map, and then you just sell them out again.
Chipsa's making money. Chipsa's making money. Everyone's happy. There's this
but I am excited to see him in Overwatch League.
Same, yeah. It's going to be interesting.
And I think if he does turn out to be like really, really good, I think that'd be amazing.
Have you watched his streams since he's been signed?
No, I haven't. But I've seen.
He's a changed man. He's been more PG. He's like child friendly.
Yeah,
like,
I guess
more and more. Yeah,
don't you?
Yeah, you have to. That's the same thing like
since...
with XQC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably briefed him and went up like, listen,
yeah,
do the stream, but we don't want any more.
Because he was like loud and rude and fucking BMing his team and everything before.
Yeah.
But he
lot
actually
of words going around, I feel like.
When I read the news and I saw he was live, I just had to check it out. He's actually like the friend right now. The friends, all his streams are titled Reformed. He's like when someone's
third phase, the friend.
When someone said fuck, he was like, "Oh God, don't say it on my stream, dude." Fucking funny. So yeah, I mean, he's gonna have to change that.
Get banned for again? Was it in-game ban?
Yeah, I think so. Probably. I don't know. I can't remember. It wasn't really a big deal. I don't think.
Okay, we do need to get on to Jayne.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've said his name 3 times.
Sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to read his quote. This is like his initial reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to leave I don't know if I said this before, but I'm going to leave a link to a video that has a bunch of streamers' reactions on it in the description.
Sounds good.
So, I'm angry and I'm passionate about this because there are other Tier 2 players and there are other Tier 3 players out there who have been grinding for an opportunity like Chipsa was gifted for absolute years. And they have been passed over. And this move, beyond anything else I'm talking about, is disrespectful to them.
Yeah, he's got a point. No, yeah, he's right. I understand where he's coming from. Because there's a lot of good players trying to break through. And as I've heard, Tier 2 kind of sucks. It's like,
yeah, it's kind of...
yeah, it's not really worth it, right?
Not so hot right now.
No, yeah, playing Tier 2 is like scuffed as fuck. You can't make a living out of it.
There's not... I don't think... Some players aren't paid still, I think, in Overwatch League. Really? In Overwatch Contenders.
Yeah.
There's still like unpaid teams in there. Because I think it's because they come up from Open Division and they don't have paying orgs. But yeah, I've got some stuff on Tier 2 as well that I want to talk about.
Okay.
So Chipsa, this is like his most. I got a couple of quotes from him, and he's these are the most important replies to that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "I understand why there's a lot." I'm gonna read this exactly, but it's because of the way he talks. It might not be perfect English, so I'm gonna try and read it word for word, and you'll get your meaning from it.
Yeah.
I understand why there's a lot of people who are upset, and I get that. I definitely think that some of these players deserve Overwatch League as well, and I get that. And I do feel bad these people. I think a lot of people get effed, have been effed unfairly, like Jayne, like Biz, like these two in particular. And then he goes on to say Fissure as well, and I do feel bad. But like, at the end of the day, asking KSP Leaf, all I'm saying is, I skipped a few words there. All I'm saying is, I feel like it's unfair to blame me for this. I got an opportunity and I took it.
Well, he's not at fault.
Yeah.
Chipsa's not at fault at all. Because
I don't know.
He just got handed an opportunity, dude.
I didn't think he'd even want to join Overwatch League.
I didn't think so either, to be honest.
Because we've seen big streamers do it before. Seagull, XQC, Fran.
Yeah.
And it's not good for your stream. Well, it is. It's good for your stream if you keep streaming, but you have to stop at some point.
You'll make a name for yourself, though. You'll grow. You'll grow at the end of the day.
Will we see Chipsa in Overwatch League Season 4? Will he still be there at the end of the year?
No.
You think he'll quit at the end of the year or after stage 1?
I don't know if he's gonna quit or if he's gonna get kicked. I don't know, but I feel like he's gonna, for one, he's gonna fuck up on stream. He's gonna say something, do something that's too scuffed, and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, you're benched for 4 games," and then that's gonna happen again. Because
I don't think he'll play enough though to get in that situation.
Well, it doesn't matter. He's signed to a team.
But I don't think you have enough games to say something tilting on his stream, something toxic or bannable.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be about another player in Overwatch League or Overwatch League at all. He's just gonna be toxic at one point, and you know how Overwatch is. Overwatch is really strict on these things, because they want the league to be attractive for like other companies to sponsor and whatever, and advertise, I guess. And I don't know. I feel like they are really strict on these things.
I can't agree. I don't think he will get in trouble on stream. I feel like Fusion definitely is going to be briefing him, like, constantly. They'll probably cut his streaming hours down.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll either end up in a situation where his stream will die, or he won't get any playtime. Well, not die, but like it'll devolve, it'll shrink his stream.
Yeah, but that doesn't change. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You have to pay the price. You can't focus on everything. One of those things is going to go.
Well, it happens.
Your pro career or your stream.
I mean, it's possible to do both, because you see these players scrim for like how much hours? 8 hours a day? I don't know, 6 hours a day, whatever. And then they go on stream and they get in more practice, because that's what they all do, honestly.
Right. They all play ranked.
Yeah, they all play ranked. They scrim and then they play ranked. And yeah, I don't know.
I feel like the best example of someone being able to stream and be a pro is Super.
Well, Shroud has done it as well. He quit after a while, but
that's different.
It's a different game, but
yeah.
Same concept. It's esports, high level.
I suppose.
Whenever Shroud actually played a different game than CS:GO on stream, he would actually get a lot of hate by fans, saying that he was like, "You're not practicing the game you should be." Whilst he's played 8 hours of scrims before this stream, dude. Come, chill out.
I don't know if that would be the case with Overwatch. Maybe the Koreans they get upset about things like that. That's very much part of their culture.
But people just find something to bitch about, honestly.
I
mean, I feel like Chipsa's fan base would do such a thing, even if they don't care, but just to tilt him or just to fuck with him.
I mean, he already gets less viewers for playing another game, I assume. Like, this is usually the case.
Yeah. This probably won't happen as well in this case, but just giving an example.
I mean, I would totally be overwhelmed if I had to scrim for. I think they limit scrim hours now. I'm not sure if that's true, but I think I heard something like that. They limit it to 8. Maybe that's another esport. Or specific team or something like that. But yeah, they sort of limit it. It almost never goes over 10 hours, I think. But I don't think I could scrim for 10 hours and then stream. I feel like it's something would snap.
Yeah, same here. But I don't know. If you look at the stream schedules of some of these guys, they already stream like 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day.
Well, you can't do 10 hours of scrims then stream for 10 hours, because then you've only got 4 hours.
No. I get that, but you can still get 2 hours in or something.
Yeah, I don't know how XQC was doing it, because he was scrimming 10 hours a day, and I think he was on the bench as well, so he was basically just watching scrims, and then going back and playing. I don't know when he slept, to be honest. And that's gonna mess with you, not getting any sleep.
That's the thing with XQC. I don't think he sleeps, dude. Honestly, he's just fucked. No, I don't know. These people, they grind. Honestly, it sounds like a good life being a pro player, but I don't think it is, to be honest. I honestly don't think it is.
There's a lot of bad and a lot of good. As with most.
think, yeah, like the good are like high up, like it's a high peak.
You get fame,
but it's
money,
yeah, but it's rough,
competition.
Dude. I think it's really.
But you have
rough.
to give your entire life.
You have to literally give your entire life. I had this discussion with a friend of mine about pro sports players, soccer players, whatever sport you want. They get to live 3 weeks a year when they're on break. That's it. They can't have a drink. They have to practice. They can have a drink because that's gonna like decrease their fucking stamina and stuff.
like army PTSD at that point because you don't even know how to live anymore because all you do is train and practice and
you don't live. I don't think it's a good life being a pro player.
Well, this got deep.
I don't know. Yeah, I know, but I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Kind of rough, I think. It's a lot. I think it's so much.
I don't know. Well, there's the thing though. Would you rather grind as hard as you can to do something that you like, or not do any grinding, just chill, and then eventually have it catch up with you, and then you're just working in a shop at a till?
Yeah. No, I get that, but if it's your passion to be a pro player, I think you can do it.
Obviously, you have. I don't know. I feel like you either work for something early, or it catches up with you, and then you have to work for something you don't like.
No.
So,
I
feel like it is worth it.
What the case is in like esports and sports in general, it's like you have these few prime years, right, where you make a lot of money. You have to give up, but then these years you have to give up your whole life for this. But you make a lot of money, you get some fame, everything's really good. You're like building your future, and then you're too old. You have a good basis, right? You can buy a lot of stuff. You have a good start. You have a head start basically, but you gave up like 4 years of your life pretty much for this head start. That's how I think about it.
I guess. Here's an interesting thing about esports, and streaming and YouTubing and everything like that. Basically, new media in general.
Yeah.
We don't have a generation of old people yet that have been streamers and YouTubers and esports professionals.
True.
So what kind of legacy is that? I don't know. Like with professional athletes, they're remembered. They grow old. They have their fortunes. They live in their houses and whatever. But esports there's less money in it. There's less fame in it. There's less. There's more anonymity. You don't have as much of a legacy. So it's the same work as a pro sport, but without as much fame. But it still feels as much. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same sort of youth for a esports player and a pro athlete.
Yeah.
But what happens when they get old?
Well, I feel like a lot of them move to streaming after being a pro. That's like the go-to move.
But in 50 years, is XQC still going to be streaming? we'll
I don't think he is. But at that point, because they are businessmen. Streamers are businessmen. They're fucking smart. Honestly, they will have set up something else. Honestly, I think it's either like they have their merch and stuff. So either their merch just grows to be a brand, like a popular brand, could happen, right? We don't know. We've never seen it before.
Well, it depends on the person.
Yeah, it really depends on the person.
It's an interesting future ahead.
And then there's always been these people in sports and esports. I don't know, esports not yet, but in sports, they fuck up everything. They just spend all their money. They go on this weirdest lifestyle that isn't maintainable. And they fuck up, and then you have people that
they flex on kids on YouTube and get paid more money.
No, but then there's these athletes that retire and they start a business. It's usually something really simple, which just they have a basic income where they don't have to do a lot of work, and it just works. And then there's the people that just spend it all on a crazy lifestyle and just go broke again, and it's all been a waste. So that's probably what we're gonna see, I think. And then
I feel like we've gone a bit too deep on this.
It's interesting though. So
yeah,
it's really interesting. Yeah. Okay.
So,
let's get back on topic, I guess.
Back on the news. Christopher Graham. He is on Philadelphia Fusion, and he was last year, and he is Chipsa's brother.
Yeah.
But so, what do you think about that initially? Having just heard that, what do you know about it?
Well, I've heard. I saw Jayne's tweets. I guess he's like it's a coincidence, right? But
Yeah. He's not.
it'll be in his favor, of course. But Philadelphia Fusion will still have run a tryout, and if they see in a tryout that there's no potential, they won't get him on the team. That doesn't make sense. Like these people are professionals. They must have like an idea what they're doing, right? It's not gonna be. He's his brother.
Unless it
Let's
is
get him.
just pure. Okay, it's his brother. But I don't think that's true.
If that's the case, then it's solely for like his stream, his name. I don't think.
I think that, but I do think it is just because he's Chipsa, not because he's a good player.
No, but that helps. It helps a lot being Chipsa, being the friend, that helps a lot. I mean, it's a bonus as well for a team, right? You got a lot of new fans.
Yeah.
A lot of new people buying your shirts that says Chipsa. I mean, of course it's a bonus, but
yeah. So Chipsa said that his brother specifically recommended against him joining their team until they had more discussion. So do you think, right? So you don't think this is well, I'll let you speak for yourself. So do you think this is that it's his brother? That's why they let him in. And if you think it is, that's why they did it. Do you think there's anything wrong with that? So forgetting the streamer, forgetting Chipsa, forgetting his skill, forgetting his name. Do you think they got him in because he's his brother?
No, I don't think so. I don't think.
Do you think that played a factor?
Yeah, for sure. But well, I don't think it played that much of a factor. It probably did a little bit, right? But that's, I mean, that happens everywhere in everything. But I feel like a team like Fusion, they can't, like, I mean, there has to be a proper tryout. These people have to see, like, there's potential. You can't, why would they take, so his brother's a coach, right?
Yes.
So they just, they don't let the coach do whatever he wants, right?
Yeah, he's an assistant coach as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So the head coach must have, like, watched his tryout. He must have seen, like, there's potential. And of course it's gonna play a factor, and of course Chips has a better chance of like being involved. I guess he's just being noticed more easily. But I can also see what he's saying. Like he didn't want Chips on the team because that's a lot of pressure. If you make,
do you think it would be a scandal if it came out that he didn't have a trial? He didn't have a tryout.
Yeah.
Do you think there would be anything wrong with that?
Well,
because they've seen him play.
Kind of.
But
kind of.
So the trial is the important thing. You think?
It's a little bit of a scandal because I can also like respect it if they just take him for his name. Honestly, that's happened before.
Just for clout.
Yeah, just for clout. I'm willing to accept that. I don't care.
If they said it though, if they were more honest.
Yeah, if they're honest about it, that's fine. I mean, sure, why not? People take on streamers.
I think it's just weird. My opinion of it is I'm not for it or against it. I think Philadelphia Fusion as a competitive team will suffer for it, but as a name, they will gain from it.
Yeah, it's a business level, yeah.
It's kind of weird that Chipsa accepted it. I don't have a problem with anyone signing anyone to their team.
But
I mean, if they signed like a bronze player, that would make a proper joke of it.
Oh, that would be funny though.
That would be funny, but it would sort of ruin the competitive scene.
Think about it from Chipsa's perspective. He gets this offer, right? He's just money, more clout, more fame, money. I mean, obviously he's gonna take it. Why wouldn't he? There's no.
Well, you're very famous, right? You've got 900 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, hell yeah. I have a lot of clout, dude.
Would you accept this? So say like I don't know, Atlanta Reign comes to you and they're like, yeah, okay, we've seen your YouTube channel, all those Minecraft Let's Plays.
Mm-hmm.
We want you on the team. What do you think? Would you take it?
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
Well, I don't know. I feel like you'd get in trouble.
For what? Why?
I wouldn't take it.
Why wouldn't you?
Well, what conditions would you take it? Would you want playtime?
No, I don't care.
What if they said you had to play?
Well, that's fine. I'm down to
You
play.
would take it.
Yeah.
So you'd roll out onto stage, right? As a I don't think you mind me saying this, as a diamond DPS player, yeah.
Dude, I'm not a diamond DPS player. You know this. Fuck.
Okay, as a Masters DPS player.
Uh-huh.
You roll out, right? On the stage, you get out there, you start playing Hanzo, and then your team gets absolutely dominated. Right? And everyone's calling you trash.
Honestly, I don't think I care.
You wouldn't care.
No.
So in all the news sources, there's like everyone is calling you out.
Yeah.
Like imagine how Zachary feels, but like 10 times worse.
I don't think I'd care. Honestly, I'm sorry, but I just see, like, there's no bad publicity, right? No, there isn't. There isn't. People gonna be remembering your name for the next 10 years. That's beautiful. That's actually beautiful.
Why don't you just go around like spouting racist comments and things?
No, come on, that's that's so much worse though. And they are signing me. What's my say in this?
Okay, I'm being ridiculous, but you did say any fame is good fame.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true. Only a Sith deals in absolute.
No.
You dealt in an absolute there.
Pretty much like the exposure is always good. Pretty much. It's like okay. I guess yeah, you're right. You don't want to go like you have your standards, but people use this racist stuff.
But again, you wouldn't want to be known as the worst player to ever play in Overwatch League.
I do.
A title currently held by Roshan of Shanghai Dragons.
I wouldn't care. I do. Give me that.
Didn't I call him out last time?
Probably, yeah. Feel bad for the guy, dude. No, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. I'm down to be the worst player in Overwatch League ever.
Well, there you have it. If there's an Overwatch League team out there who wants to make the worst signing ever,
hell yeah, get me, boys, pick me up.
Piece of cake.
Well,
get them in there.
I wouldn't even be the worst signing ever, dude. Come on.
Hashtag piece of cake. Wait, no, hold on. You'd be better than Roshan?
Yeah.
Okay, I can accept that, but I don't know.
I know. If I actually, if they let me scrim, I can probably improve. Then there's like a meaning to my games.
Would you commit to it?
I would commit. Yeah, I would commit.
Okay.
Because in ranked I can't be arsed. I just want to have fun. I can't be arsed fucking try harding. But if I'm on a team again, I would try my ass off. I'm competitive in that kind of way.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to take a smoke break between every round.
I'll just start smoking at my desk. That doesn't matter.
What? Yeah. On stage? I don't think they let you.
It's like e-smoker or whatever, dude. I'll figure it out. I'll get like this nicotine gum.
You just come off the stage, you're covered in nicotine patches.
Hell yeah. Fuck it. No. I would even quit smoking for a team. That doesn't matter.
Oh, we have to get you on a team then.
Hell yeah, that's fucking good. That's gonna be such a meme.
Okay, that's the hashtag now. Hashtag cake for Owl.
Hell yeah. I would actually pop off, dude. I promise. I will pop off. No,
okay, I'm gonna read a wall of quotes.
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Alright, so DeFran, I'm gonna do his voice for this. You ready? Chipsa in Overwatch League? There's no way. Why would Chipsa be in Overwatch League? What can he play? Doomfist? I think he's signed to streamer team. There's no way, dude. There's no way. He also said something like, imagine subbing out Carpe for Chipsa. Which I can.
Yeah.
If you were running Paradoom, if you're running double projectile, I think you would. But I don't know, why would they sign Hisu? And I don't know, I'm getting. Okay, next quote. Harblue. I'm not doing an impression of Harblue. I'm definitely happy for him. End quote. I've cut some stuff out, so it's exact as I can be, but I had to cut out like a load of. Particularly Harblue, he says like every few words. So, I'd be lying if I wasn't somewhat jealous and salty about it a little bit. Just because I've grinded my ass off in Contenders, Open Division, all these effers on Reddit, being like, the reason Harb's not in OWL is his hero pool, or, it's because he hasn't played in other tournaments, and I don't swear, sorry. Well, you obviously don't need to do that. Is that valid? Not having tier 2 experience?
No,
I
don't think so. No.
You don't think? Wait.
No.
What? I feel like we're in a double negative right now. What do you think is not valid?
I don't think it matters if you have tier 2 experience or not.
Okay.
I mean,
if he's good enough, he's good enough, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But he's been on a team before. He knows the drill. I feel like that's important to just have
it
the
was
basics.
A tier 3 team though.
Yeah, but doesn't it really matter? Does that really
Maybe.
matter? You have the basics down, right?
Yeah, I guess. But he's very much out of practice.
Well, he's gonna have to be a bitch there. He's gonna have to listen to everything they say. But that's for sure.
Okay. Harbly went on to say, it is a little bit like a slap in the face to a lot of tier 2 players. And then he continued, I hope Chipsa plays and he proves everyone's wrong and pops the F off.
Oh yeah.
Quick from Avast. Do you know Avast?
Nope.
He's like, I don't know. I'll just call him a personality for your sake. I can't really describe what he is.
That's fine.
For my sake either. He was kind of memeing it. He just said, "What are they doing? What is this signing?" Fusions, main tank for Boston Uprising. There's no world where Christopher from Philadelphia Fusion, the assistant coach, goes, guys, I've got this crazy idea. My brother, the streamer Chipsa, who hasn't played pro for years, I want him to be on our Overwatch League team. He continued, there's no way that this happens.
Yeah, but that's legit, right? Because that...
Yeah.
How that's not possible. You can be like, I've got this brother, right? He's bronze, but he's been streaming. He's got
my dad
reviews.
hasn't played. He hasn't even installed the game yet. Can I bring my dad in?
I
want to see the full Graham family in Overwatch.
Oh God! I mean, my dad is kind of in a rough place right now. He's in need of some money. Can we bring him in? Yeah, sure, dude. Of course.
Maybe in the future where there's like 40 Overwatch League teams.
I would love to see that. That would be really good.
Just have one that's just a full family. Samito said, do you know Samito? He's a tier 2 or tier 3 player? I don't know. He's a streamer. He said, it's definitely a bad look for a lot of the tier 2 players that have been grinding the path to pro for a long time. Continuing, he said, at the end of the day, I think everybody deserves a chance, and the only thing matters is, are you good enough?
But don't you think that a lot of these players, they're grinding tier 2, fine, whatever. They are just not good enough?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, like,
but a lot of them are good enough, and they don't get.
Sure, I feel like they're all getting a chance, dude. There's just I mean, they
Fusion called Elk.
They do tryouts, right?
Yeah, they run tryouts for everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not always a fair tryout. Some people get more tryouts than others. Some people get tryouts where like only one coach will show up, and then it would just like write a note or two on you.
Yeah,
like
I get that. But
Elk is definitely a good player, and he only got one tryout last year. And he's like a big brain player, known for his positivity. Well, I don't know if he's known for positivity, but he seems like a good guy.
Maybe
he's like good character, good player.
Maybe he has severe social anxiety and he just doesn't have the balls to step up and say, I need more tryouts, let's go.
You think he's too agreeable?
I don't know, maybe. I'm just trying to like... there has to be a reason for all of these decisions, right?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't...
Nobody does anything for no reason.
There's no team that's gonna be like, yeah, this guy's kind of better, but I can't be arsed giving him another tryout.
There's a reason behind everything, except for when Platinum Reinhardt shields break and then they just press shift. But and
that's
not relevant.
So
Fran tweeted, "I have no relatives in OWL, sadly." That's the first negative one, apart from Jayne.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of a meme rather than an actual comment.
I mean, these people are playing their like part online. They have to maintain their character. It's not always serious.
Okay, I feel like we've maybe reached the end of the. I feel like we've said everything we need to say about Chipsa. Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna like rush through these quotes and then move on to the next bit of news. So, Flame, who was the general manager for Houston Outlaws, who is the general manager for Outlaws, he was talking about Season 1. He said, it was like, who has the biggest name? Who has the biggest followers? Who are the best players at the time? Discussing, like, bringing on streamers. Slasher, who's a journalist, I think?
Yeah,
he said, it's effing rich hearing it from Jayne that effing Chipsa shouldn't be allowed in the league when he had no effing experience as a coach or assistant coach, coaching an Overwatch League level team. So that's a new one. Because actually, Jayne did have some experience with Contenders teams, I think, but that was sort of like as a temporary thing, as far as I understand. I think that is a different case for Jayne.
Yeah, it is a different case, but he also his stream helped and everything. He was out there. True. Like
that's
he was
why
out
he
there.
Got the job because of his stream.
He was out there. That's just like.
But I don't think he was bad.
No, he wasn't
like you
at
could
all.
argue for Chipsa. You can make a strong argument that Chipsa is very bad. As I have, he's a very bad signing for a team.
Yeah, I
don't think Jayne is a bad signing for a team.
Jayne's pickup was like it was fine. It was just justified as made sense.
And then a couple more journalists talking to each other. So Yiska said, of course, coaches bring in their players, and to a degree it's bias, and to a degree cronyism. And then Volumel, who's also a journalist, said, I know he says he's a writer, I think. He said, explain to me why you signed Zachary. I'll wait. Rip Zachary. Prophet, who's London Spitfire, he had a very in-depth response to this, and he took the time out of his day to tweet, and he made a very specific tweet towards this that fully entailed his thoughts. And the tweet was, lol. Okay, so asking who's a very, very good tier 2 player, should be Overwatch League, said, that's a prank, right? Where's the camera? Tell me there's a camera hidden somewhere. And then finally, XQC. The whole Overwatch League community crying over nepotism and unfairness. When has Overwatch League ever been a meritocracy? Have y'all been living under a rock? He then tweeted, it's entertainment and meant to be fun. If it was a pure meritocracy, no one would give a flying F, and not a single team would... A single team would not have two fans to rub together. Players market themselves any way they can. If all you can do is play, better make sure you're a hell of a player. And cut. Not yet. No, forget the cut.
Okay, I'm not cutting anything. No.
Closing thoughts on Chipsa.
Closing thoughts. I feel like he is an odd pickup for any team to do, but I'm willing to give him a chance. I don't know. He's gonna have to change his ways and grow in a lot of aspects, but it's possible, right?
Yeah.
If you have, I mean, mechanics is a huge part of being a good player, so he has that down.
I guess.
On the fist, that is.
So, I think he's bad for the team, good for clout. I hope he plays and does really well. I hope he is good, and I hope there's no drama. I hope I hope nothing bad happens. I hope nothing like the XQC drama happens.
Can I just call that there's going to be drama?
I mean, you can if you want.
I want to call it. There's going to be drama.
This is our platform. This is our way of saying things to the world.
So I can actually... my opinion is validated.
I mean, I guess.
No. I think there's going to be some kind of... some kind of drama.
Okay.
He hasn't been banned. He hasn't been banned on Twitch yet, I don't think. Or has he?
No.
No, so
has he ever been banned from Overwatch? I think
he has been. Yeah. Wait, let me just Google this real quick. Chipsa ban Overwatch. Yeah, he's been banned.
Okay, so next topic. Tier 2. Tier 2. Tier 2 is not having a good time right now.
No. I agree.
I think I said something on last stream, like, that Overwatch Contenders is really, really hard to get into because the website is terrible and there's virtually no information about what's going on.
I agree, yeah. I looked at this when you said it and literally it's just a mess, dude.
Like, it's split into regions, as far as I understand. But, like, the website isn't even good for how terrible the actual, the way it's organized is pretty bad, but the website is bad for that as well. So it's like a whole new level of bad. It's a subcategory of bad. It's a bad website for a badly organized thing.
Yeah, it's wild. I feel like if you made a third-party website for Overwatch League, you could, that's market. Hell yeah, got it.
Have you ever watched a Contenders game?
Yeah, I've watched Contenders games before.
How many?
Estimate of maybe 20 games, I don't know.
20? Well, you watched more than me. I've watched 3.
3 Contenders games? Oh, I find Contenders quite interesting.
I watched Toronto Esports when Cruz got signed to them first time. I watched, what did I watched recently Element Mystic versus Atlanta Academy, and I watched, I can't remember. Oh yeah, I watched some random Clockwork Vendetta game.
Sometimes whenever I open Twitch, I just see their live, and then I'm like, oh, I'll watch for a bit.
Well, I also think it's really hard to watch as well. Like, I don't know if the quality's bad or just the fact, like, everyone's white and green.
Can I just say that Overwatch overall is really hard to watch?
Certainly is now.
Yeah. I don't know. I watched a bit of... I followed Contenders a bit when Craigie was on London Spitfire, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And that was kind of fun. But, I don't know. I don't really care about it at all. It's fun to watch. It's the game I enjoy, so it's fun to watch, but...
Blizzard needs to... Overwatch... Whoever's in charge, they need to put some more effort into Contenders.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not accessible. They need to make it accessible first, right? Then, once we've got it accessible, they can start working on making it more interesting. Because at the moment, it's just weird.
Yeah, it's kind of scuffed, but it's been scuffed. Because you hear like tier 2 players talk about it being really hard to be a tier 2 player and actually get by.
Yeah, I don't think most of them don't make enough money to live off.
No, and they are expected to do a lot of scrims and whatever, VOD reviews and everything. I mean, they need a job on the side pretty much, which
it's almost like starving yourself to become immortal.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is a weird analogy, and I will have to explain this, right? So I think, right, I in Crusader Kings 2, right? No, look, listen, stay with me. There is an event, right, to become immortal, and one of the events you have to do is you have to starve your character, and as he gets more and more tired, I don't know if it's like a roll of the dice or something, eventually either he becomes immortal or he dies or he gives up. And I feel like that's the same thing with becoming an Overwatch League player. Either you give up, you die in brackets. Mm-hmm. We'll call dying like financial ruin, basically.
Yeah.
Or you make it and you become an Overwatch League player. It's such a I think it's brinkmanship is the word. I don't know if that's correct, but it's basically you're pushing it to the edge. You have to take a leap of faith almost.
You are literally taking a leap of faith. And it helps that a lot of Overwatch League players are really young and probably still live with their parents. So they get maintained, but it's...
imagine being a 40-year-old trying to become an Overwatch League player. Even if you had the skill.
I would really respect them. That would
I would totally respect that. I don't think there's even a 40-year-old in Grandmaster yet. So, if you're 40 years old...
No, there probably is. There must be, right?
I don't think so.
I used to read a lot of posts on Overwatch University, and sometimes there were these older players, so in their 30s, 40s sometimes, not often. But they would actually talk about how it's really hard in a game like Overwatch to keep up with younger people. So
Yeah.
I could imagine that there's not even a 40-year-old in GM. Because it's such a fast game and there's so much happening. The older you get, just slower you are. That's the way it is.
Even if you stop playing for a week, you come back and everything's just a blur.
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like your muscle memory is just going to be gone as well.
Yeah.
Everything, I don't know.
I imagine being like an old person, and then you take a. I mean, like I don't think an old person would spend all day playing a video game. So maybe one day they'll go, oh yeah, I'll just play some Overwatch, and then they come back like a week later, and then they just have a heart attack because there's so much going on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know. There's this. You have a few streamers that are like 70, 60, 70 years old.
Really?
Yeah. One of them plays RuneScape, the other one plays Minecraft.
They're not very intense games.
No.
Minecraft.
No. They focus on comedy and actually being. They're like one of a kind. Like that's kind of cool. 60-year-old is playing games? So that's one way they get viewers, and then most of the time they're really funny as well.
But I also feel like like as cool as it is to have an older person be into games and want to do that, I feel like maybe they have kids who are wanting to play games and they're just not letting them. Like the PS4 is mine.
No. These kind of parents, if no, they have multiple consoles, multiple PCs, whatever. that doesn't make sense, because if you are passionate about gaming, when you're 60 years old, you're gonna make sure your kids love it as well, or get the opportunity to.
It can be quite expensive though.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm going back to Shroud right now. His dad used to build PCs as a hobby, so they had like I don't know how many PCs.
Expensive hobby, isn't
it? It is an expensive hobby, but he really enjoyed gaming as well. So that's literally how Shroud got into gaming, because they played CS:GO together. Oh, not CS:GO, CS 1.6. I don't know, whatever. Doesn't really matter.
I'm going to bring up cycling just briefly.
Hell yeah, let's go. No, I don't.
Where they have there's almost this weird thing, because it's been around for the Tour de France has been around for like 115 years almost. And they have this thing where you'll have a parent who's really into cycling, and then their kid will get into it, and then sometimes you'll get professionals where their dad was really good, but then they suck. Or their dad sucked, and then they were really good. and it alternates. But whenever you have professionals in the same family.
Yeah.
I wonder if that will come to pass in esports.
I don't know. I feel
XQC's son.
Maybe if you have a parent that's really into it, I feel like you get a head start, because you're gonna start at such a young age.
Yeah.
Right?
And maybe if they get to the pro level, but they suck, maybe there's like some built-up resentment. Like, my son is going to fudge and come back and destroy all of you.
But think about this. If you are the kid of, let's say, XQC, you know you're into Overwatch, you're enjoying it, okay, everything's good. But you know he's expecting something. And the kid is actually going to... Well, he might not even be expecting anything. He probably wouldn't. But as a kid, you're going to think, okay, he wants me to pop the fuck off. He wants me to go. And that's another... Let's fucking go. I don't know.
Well, XQC is a weird case, because he's really famous, probably the most famous Overwatch player. And he was also considered to be the best Western main tank. But results-wise, his career was not good.
No, that's true.
I don't know about his pre-Overwatch League career. I don't think that was amazing. I'm not sure. I would have to do some research into it, but I'm pretty sure he didn't do too well before. He had like potential, but he wasn't like a leading tank until he joined Dallas Fuel, where people considered him to be one of the best. But he basically only played a stage worth of games, and in those where he did decent, it was probably like 1 or 2 games where he really, really showed his true potential, and then he was gone.
Yeah, but then
So I don't know, like, would his kid
there's
pop
been
off because his dad sucked, or do really bad because his dad was really good? I don't know how you'd class that.
I don't think you
This is
want to
a
go.
weird hypothetical.
I don't think you want to go off that assumption that it's always like that.
No, that's the golden rule.
Okay, fine. So
we don't break golden rules.
I think I think in that case there'll be less entertaining and better players. That's what I think.
What will the game be in like 20 years' time? I think we'll probably have Overwatch 3 by then.
Yeah, probably, if it's even around.
That's obviously how they're going to keep the esport around, by just producing new Overwatches.
What I think the Project A from Riot is just gonna... That's a game that's gonna last 40 years, pretty much. Have you?
You are a heretic, sir.
It's fine, I don't care.
How dare you?
I don't care. No, but that's a good game. It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be properly competitive, more fairly competitive than Overwatch is, in every fucking way.
I don't want to learn a new game. I'm gonna live and die by Overwatch.
I mean, I've been doing this since forever. I was CS:GO noob, then I got bored of CS:GO. I started looking for a more competitive first-person shooter, ended up in Overwatch. Next competitive first-person shooter is gonna be Project A. I never drop any of these games because I still play CS:GO. I will always play Overwatch probably. But there's always gonna be the next thing, and Overwatch 1 as it is now isn't gonna last for over 10 years. I don't think.
Do you think they'll get Overwatch 2 out before next season?
No.
That's gonna be weird, though, isn't it? They'll have to do it like mid-season, or Overwatch League will have to continue on Overwatch 1 while Overwatch 2 is out.
I think
because it starts in February.
I think it will probably continue on Overwatch 1, and then... Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because it's going to be basically the same game.
Yeah, same PvP, but they'll introduce 3 heroes at the same time, so...
Yeah, but you can just block those.
That might kind of ruin the League.
You can just block those in League, right?
Yes.
I feel like they can move to Overwatch 2, they can also stay on Overwatch 1. I don't think it makes a difference.
I feel like there's definitely going to be some jankiness going on when Overwatch 2 drops. If it drops before Overwatch League, that'd be perfect.
It would be
If it drops during Overwatch League, that's going to cause some problems.
It would be really dumb to immediately move Overwatch League to Overwatch 2, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, they'll at least wait until the end of a stage.
Yeah, but it's
But they're not doing stages.
Imagine if they release it and then just saying, yeah, okay, we're just moving everything right the fuck now.
Yeah,
just mid game, fuck it. No, there's gonna be so much shit happening that
and
shouldn't
exactly
be.
10 minutes into this game, the new hero Sojourn will unlock.
Yeah, exactly. After 10 minutes of playtime, we'll switch maps to a new push map. Yeah, doesn't matter.
We're just waiting for Overwatch 2 to drop, so we're going to go to an ad break.
Jeff's is on stage, mid-game. No one's locked in the game, everyone's looking at Jeff.
I'm hyped for Overwatch 2 still. Still hyped.
Yeah, so am I. I hope
Please let it drop before Overwatch League. Please.
I'm hoping it has enough content to actually be a separate game.
I hope it carries Overwatch back. I hope it fixes everything. I hope loads of new players come in. I hope loads of casual players start playing the game again. I hope the pro scene expands. There's fudging 50 Overwatch League teams by Season 4. Because that's the problem, right? There's too few teams to have bad players on. There's no excuse for signing a bad player because there's only 20 teams.
Yeah, for sure.
There's barely enough room for all the good players in the world.
I'm just wait. Give me a second.
So actually,
yeah.
News yesterday. Gladiators Legion has I don't know what the word is. Disbanded, gotten rid of all their players. become inactive, along with previously from other days, years, whatever. Mayhem, GG Esports, XL2, NRG, Eternal Academy. They are all inactive and disbanding from Tier 2. These are all Academy teams that are leaving the Tier 2 scene. And that is kind of worrying for the future of eSport. Jayne pointed out, while talking about the Chipsa drama actually, he said that there's no way for a player who just plays the game to know about the competitive scene. And he also said in the same sort of statement that no one in Overwatch League makes any money apart from the players and the coaches and the presenters and that. So it's like, it's not looking too bright for the future. With all that in mind, how did you find out about tournaments and scrimming and competitive play?
Oh damn! This was season 2 of competitive. I feel like it might have popped up in game. I don't know how I found out actually.
No, there's never been anything for. Oh, well, there is recently now a spray that you can get for competing in Open Division, which kind of makes me want to compete in Open Division.
Oh, you mean how I found out about Open Division?
Yeah, how did you find out about, like, how did you join your first team? How did you know you could even join one?
Oh, I know. I don't know. I don't know how I found out I could even join one. I just really wanted to improve, get good at the game. I've always liked tryharding, like being really competitive. So that's what I was looking for. Browsed Reddit, probably, I don't know, some Discord server maybe, and tried out for a few teams. Well, 2 only.
So, this is how I found out about it, right? So I sort of knew that I didn't know about Tier 3 and Tier 2 and that existing. For a while, I didn't even know that amateur teams existed. I assumed just like GM players would just join pro teams straight up, which may have even been the case at the time, at least very, very early on. But so the way I found about it was I had Discord because my friends had it. My friend had it from Smite, I think. He wanted to talk to his Smite friends, and he had Discord to talk to them. And he basically got everyone in our friend group to get this from school.
Yeah.
And after a while, I was like adding more servers, and I found Your Overwatch, their YouTube channel, their Discord server. I joined that, and then one day, right, I was Masters for the first time. I was playing main tank, and I was going to get to GM. I did eventually, and I was on my way up. I was like basically winning every single game. I just needed to put the time in. And back when you could play Reinhardt. Wow.
Yeah, I remember this.
And I just saw an ad in one of the LFTs. I was like, oh, should I join that? Okay. Did I try out? I got on the team, and it was good fun. I enjoyed it for a while.
Yeah, you were
until
a good main tank.
But that's another story. So yeah, like I sort of found out about it through a series of coincidences.
I had a head start. Like I was in CS:GO. I played on teams on CS:GO. I knew there was a thing. So I don't know. That's a head start, I guess.
So like neither of us were told by Overwatch, hey, you can do this. You can go into a tournament and you can compete. You can have fun. We just sort of got lumped with it. Well, not lumped. Wait, sorry. We didn't get lumped with it at all. We sort of just had it already.
If it wasn't for Discord servers, I would have never found
Discord
a team.
has done more for the Overwatch pro scene than Overwatch has.
I agree. I agree. Because at one point there was this like Band to Pro thing, right? Which was kinda it didn't really explain.
It's basically a YouTube video. And
it was kind of scuffed.
Basically, Blizzard came in and said, "Private tournaments, fudge off. We own it now. Open Division or bust."
You get 10 quid if you get 10 quid if you wait.
It was 50 quid is the prize pool for Overwatch.
Oh yeah, for a full team.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of.
It doesn't even divide by 6, does it?
No, I remember like year 1 and 2, you got 10 quid each. Pretty sure. Because I bought league tokens with it.
And just recently, more disaster for the amateur scene, right? Open Division has been on a massive break, and then they just had a trial season or something. Wait, I don't know what that's up. Maybe it didn't have prize money. Maybe it didn't have like a prize at all.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been on a massive break, and it's finally back.
Weren't they switching up like the format as well?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they are from this year. Like
another thing that really, really annoys me about Open Division, it's at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, but that's for us. We are just fucked because we're you.
Nobody scrims at 1 o'clock. Nobody. Everyone scrims at 7. This is a fact.
Yeah.
Nobody ever scrims at 1 o'clock. You try and get a scrim at 1 o'clock, you'll be waiting a long time. Wait until 7 o'clock.
Yeah, pretty much.
That annoys me.
Pretty much. People scrim at 7, 8, 9, and that's it.
Blizzard needs to take more feedback, I think. And I'm not being ungrateful. I love Overwatch. It's a great game. It has been a great game. I love everything about it. Well, not everything about it, but I love the game. Don't get me wrong. I think Blizzard done a fantastic job on it. But it's gotten to the point now where things are getting out of hand, and they need to fix the game itself and the competitive scene. I think Overwatch League is fine. And Overwatch 2
has Blizzard ever made a good competitive game? Like a proper competitive scene, I should say. They make good games. But...
yeah, I think Overwatch League is probably their best.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Overwatch League
there's been a competitive scene in WoW, and there's been a competitive scene in Hearthstone and stuff, but you don't hear about those things.
And StarCraft as well.
StarCraft. StarCraft was pretty good. But then you don't...
Heroes of the Storm.
But you don't hear about those things. You go to... If there's a League event, it's everywhere. It's fucking everywhere. You can't miss it. You can't miss this.
League of Legends, you mean?
There's.
You got differentiate. You can't just say League.
Yeah, League of Legends. Sorry. There's 250k people watching. You can't miss those things. They're streamed everywhere. They're everywhere. They pop it. Oh, it's crazy. And then Overwatch League is just hidden.
Yeah. Like none of my I feel like if I get a casual friend to watch Overwatch League with me, they're just humoring me. Yeah. It's kind of awkward. I'm like, hey, you want to watch this? And it's like, oh, okay, I guess. I don't know.
Honestly, I can enjoy watching it, but I can't see myself caring. Honestly, I'm never gonna be like, I have to watch this. So tonight is the game. Let's fucking.
Sometimes I just AFK for tokens.
Yeah, but why would you care about the tokens?
So you get skins.
Yeah, but fuck those skins, dude.
I got like 10 skins last season.
I have a bunch as well. I
did watch a lot of games though. I didn't. I think I watched more than I AFK'd.
I didn't. I just bought the tokens. Fuck it.
And the what's it called? The thing where you did predictions in game, that was useful as well.
Yeah, in CS:GO you had that as well, but there was like incentive to do it because there were rewards. It's like CS:GO is fucking built on gambling.
But I do think that I don't like CS:GO as much as I watched. I don't think it's a bad game, but and they don't innovate as much. But I do think they have a much better competitive infrastructure, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like
they do.
The way they treat their professional scene and the way they treat their ranked scene as well, except for all the hackers and the toxic people. But like the fact if you get a hacker, you get refunded all your, I don't know what you call it, ranked points.
Well,
what do you call it?
But that's
SR equivalent.
No, but ranked in CS:GO is a joke. The whole competitive mode is a joke.
But I feel like the infrastructure is better though.
It is better for sure, but everyone in CS:GO uses third-party matchmaking systems.
Yes.
There's ESL.
What's it called?
ESL has one.
Face
It has one, and then there's another one. I can't think of it right now, but it doesn't really matter. And those are really good because they actually they have better servers for one than literally the CS:GO does.
Yeah, I heard this. That it's like it's a better ping.
Yeah, they have better tech servers. Yeah. Yeah, you actually get people that want to play the game, and that's honestly, it's a great way to separate the casuals from the hardcore players.
Yeah, that's true. Because competitive and quick play in Overwatch does not do that. But I also wouldn't want a third party system coming in for Overwatch. Maybe just an "Are you sure" button on the competitive play. Like, people are gonna try hard and they're gonna get mad at you if you don't play Orisa. So
I don't think it would change anything if they implemented it, to be honest. Because if there's third-party systems, they are usually behind the paywall, for one. So you get a bunch of really dedicated players just looking for good games, quality games, right?
Because no one's gonna pay and then go on and
no, that doesn't happen. And there's you can play for free.
Or call your mum a dog. No one's
I mean,
maybe.
I would. But that's just because it's funny.
I pay $10 a month to call mom dog.
You mom dog.
$10 a month, crikey.
No, but then you have a whole ranking system in these third-party programs. So there's rank A, B, C, and then S is top tier, S plus maybe even, which really works. It's a proper ranking system, because the rank system in Overwatch is kind of a joke.
Maybe it should be pay to play ranked. You have to pay £5 to play ranked.
Just every month. I mean,
no.
That's kind of broken, but
suck.
Yeah.
It's subscription.
Yeah.
Okay, I do want to move on from tier 2 because it's really depressing.
Okay.
Fissure. Do you know Fissure?
Yes.
Oh! Did you think I meant...
Oh.
Right, so before I said Fissure.
Mm-hmm.
Fisscher. Fissure.
Fuck my life. What? Okay, yeah.
Do you know that one?
Wait. So
I said earlier, Fissure.
Yeah.
And I compared him to Harbley. I said, who do you know? So Fissure is a DPS for Team Denmark, I think.
Yeah, I'm literally.
You know that guy?
Yeah, I'm on the Wikipedia.
Oh, okay. But you didn't know him before?
I don't think so. Maybe? Does he stream?
Okay. No.
Huh.
Fissure. Fissure. Fissure, as in a crack in the ground.
Fissure. Yeah.
This guy. He, a little bit of background on him. He did Season 1, he started on London. He was forced to join LA Gladiators, where he popped off, and he was considered one of the best main tanks in the world. Definitely the best Reinhardt in the world at the time. And he was this really strong in-game leader. And then, due to internal strife, he didn't play in the playoffs, which basically cost Gladiators their run, because they had to run iRemix, who was the worst main tank in the world at the time. Not in the world, in the Overwatch League. And then he, next season, joined Seoul Dynasty, where he played there. He had conflicts with Jayne, who was their main support, and then he ended up playing their other main tank, Marvel, who was really good as well, and much better in that team than Fissure. And then basically he retired. And then after a while on his streams, he was saying things like, "Oh, I want to come back to competitive play, oh, I miss it," and all this. And just recently, he's come back, and he's joined Vancouver Titans. Now, Vancouver Titans, they were the ultimate GOATS team last year. And, well, not the ultimate, because they obviously got beat by Shock in Stage 2, but they won Stage 1, and they were known for being this super aggressive, super synergy-based team. They had Bumper, who hop-scotched around from roles. I think he was a main support at one point, an off-tank at another point, and then he started Overwatch League as a main tank. He was playing the Reinhardt, and he would just basically do the most ridiculous aggressive things, and he would get away with it because his team was so good. And he was super synergy-based. He got along with all the team. They have this legend, right? As Runaway. So they just got rid of him, Bumper. At the end of Stage 4, Bumper couldn't play Orisa because he's basically a Rhine one-trick. He's not really a main tank. He was just really good at Rhine's mechanics. That might be a hot take, I'm not sure. I don't know if you can really call it. Point is, he was basically Rhine. That was it. That was his thing.
Yeah.
And then when the Orisa meta came in, they had to get a better Orisa player. Otherwise, they would have cost themselves their playoffs. And they brought in Tizzy, who had been on London as a sub. He hasn't really got to play. He's like another one of these tier 2 players who's been really, really good and consistent. And he joined. He did pretty well with what he was given, but he was playing Orisa, so, you know. And I thought they had a really good system there, because they had Bumper, who's like the super synergy-based main tank. You can play the Reinhardt. You can play a bit of the Winston as well. And then you have Tizzy, who's this more well-rounded, more solid main tank, who's going to play the Orisa, play the Winston probably better than Bumper. And they've gotten rid of both of them and brought in a main tank who's known for having a bit of a not getting on with people, basically.
Yeah.
Just, what do you think about this? He hasn't played for a year.
Again, I'm gonna go back to my point. There has to be a tryout or like some system there, but there's these things happening in Overwatch League that I don't understand or have trouble understanding. This makes
no sense.
No, it doesn't make sense at all.
I've given you a really biased perspective, though, to be fair. There's probably people who would see it like another way, like Fissure was... Right, I'll give you the opposite perspective. Opposite perspective.
Yeah.
So, let's say Fissure was one of the best main tanks in the world. He didn't really get on with Sol. He was kind of forced out of these teams, but he wasn't... You know, his mentality is not as bad as everyone says it is. He could probably join this team. He's a properly aggressive main tank. He can play the Rhine. He's really good at Winston. He's really good at all these characters. He's a really strong IGL. He can work in a team that... He has strong communication. And he's also fits the aggressive style of the team. But he's a bit better than Bumper on Winston and Wrecking Ball and these other main tanks. So that would be the biased perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
The other biased perspective.
I don't know. You can't... Thinking about these things, you can't really be biased because then it just fucks it up. But
well, I can't tell you about it unless I am biased.
Yeah, that's
all I can tell you is if I'm not biased, and I don't think you're not as familiar with the pro scene as me, right?
No, true. Yeah, true.
And that's not a flex.
I kinda is. Go on, dude.
All right, okay. Well, I know everything, and you're
Perfect.
Trash. So
Perfect. Yeah, I like that. That's what I like.
Without bias, all I can tell you is Fissure joins Vancouver Titans. Bumper and Tizzy have left, which is not information. Well, it is, but it's not enough. They also signed Ruju Hong as well, which is interesting. Because I don't think Ruju Hong really has a place on that team other than Cloud.
Yeah, but that's been a pattern in Overwatch League, right? Cloud.
Because Ruju Hong is not a super aggressive player. He's worse than Twilight in pretty much everything. And he doesn't have the synergy with his team. I don't know what they're doing.
Cloud.
I think they've massively downgraded. Well, if they wanted clout, they'd keep Bumper. Bumper's got a lot of clout.
Would there maybe be like money things involved, financial things?
Maybe.
These players' paychecks getting out of hand.
I think maybe they wanted to retool the team after they saw their playoff run, and they were like, well, this team isn't going to cut it. We have to get someone with experience like Ruju Hong in, and we have to get a main tank with massive potential like Fissure. Like Bumper and Tizzy are really, really good, but they are not the best in the world. Bumper was one of the best Reinhardts in the world, but he was not the best main tank in the world, and he never had the potential to do that. And maybe Tizzy did at one point, but I think right now, Tizzy is a fantastic player, and he would do well on pretty much any team, but he is not going to be the best main tank in the world. I think that's a pretty safe bet. Whereas Fissure, you could say, make an argument that maybe Fissure might turn out to be the best player in the world.
Well, that could be a factor, right? They could see so much potential that they're like, this could be a pickup we should do. And maybe, and that's probably, they probably did a tryout, they saw potential, they saw his skill, whatever.
If you look at this as positively as possible, right? The Fissure thing it could work out to be the best main tank in the world, and Ruju Hong's going to come in. He's going to bring in a load of experience in, and he's going to be able to maybe in a double flex support comp, he'll be able to help out the team, and he'll also bring out a ton of clout as well.
But does these people with like a bunch of experience, would it be? It could be worth it to bring someone like that in.
Yeah, but why not on coaching?
Well,
at that point, I guess he doesn't want to coach. But then also, why would you sign to this team?
I don't know. I don't think a coach. Well, a coach could have the same value as an experienced player, but not always. I feel like I don't think every coach has the knowledge, the game time, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. They could be lacking on some points, right?
Not a great player does not a great coach make.
Yeah.
They're not always going to have the temperament or the ability to deal with other players, or the authority to bring to a team. I think it's a weird one as well, considering that Ryu Hong had really great synergy with Toby on Seoul Dynasty. Toby re-signed for Dynasty, and there was a rumor that they wanted to sign together. They wanted to be on the same team, but then Ryu Hong's just gone off to Vancouver, which is just so weird. And then they've brought in a new Contenders flex support called Creative, and I don't know how good he is. So I don't know. Weird.
It's just money, dude. You pay more, I will
news.
Play for you.
I've got some minor news here. All right.
Yeah.
Both of our World Cup teams, Netherlands and UK, have had their off-tank signs. Both of them.
Hell yeah.
So it's Brusen, right?
Brusen.
Brusen. So Brusen, he's going to start on Boston Uprising as the off-tank for Fusions, who's from Team UK. That's going to be a fun team to watch. I'm actually hyped for them next year. They've got some really good players coming in.
We're following them.
Following them, sure.
Oh yeah.
And then Smex has joined Paris Eternal, their first European signing this year. EU Super Team. And he's going to play basically until Hanbin comes of age, because I doubt they'll play Smex over Hanbin. Hanbin's too young to play for like the first few stages, and they signed Smex second. So
yeah,
and also like Koreans will always get playtime over Europeans because they're just considered to be better.
That's just the way it is. You're gonna have to accept it. Yeah, that's true. Big rip.
Both
true.
of our countries have now got more representation in the league. There's now one Dutch player, and there's now 2 more British players, but we lost 1 British player as well. So we're up 1 British player.
Do you think that makes a change, having 1 Dutch player in the Overwatch League? Does it?
Well, he's certainly going to speak very kindly about his Dutch teammates, Facility and.
Yeah, I guess so, but.
Krandop? Is that his name? Krandop? Tri-Spear, Jonah.
Yeah. Well, but then there's a thing. He's gonna have a lot of kind words for them, but is that gonna change anyone's perspective? I don't think so.
It'll put them on the radar, and then they'll hopefully give them a trial, because Netherlands popped off this year.
Hell yeah, they did.
Certainly, all of them deserve a trial with at least 1 Overwatch League team, but I doubt they all got it.
Yeah, I don't think they all got it, but still, they do deserve it for sure. But this was a kind of scuffed meta, to be honest.
And Team Denmark popped off as well. They need a trial. And all of Team UK needs to be in Overwatch League. Get Kib back in. Get KSP back in. KSP was the best player on Team UK this year, and he's the only person who has never been in Overwatch League from Team UK. Oof. It's ridiculous. Sign this man. Also sign Asking.
Kib is DBS,
Any closing thoughts?
He was playing Widow, right?
Kib was... Oh, KSP?
Yep. Wait, what?
KSP.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
sorry. Yeah. I'm done.
Any closing thoughts?
I feel like Team UK has been popping for like these recent years. They've always been good.
Oh wait, no, we gained 3 UK players. We got Slur as well, but he'll probably be permabench.
Be on the
just
bench.
assume, like, whenever there's a Korean player in the same role, I just assume the Korean's playing, because it's almost always the case.
Yes, but there's a
Most
chance.
Of the time,
yeah, most of the time.
And then they don't get a look in.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of Korean players in Overwatch League. Fuck, dude.
More than half of Overwatch League players are Korean.
Yeah, that's kind of bad, isn't it?
Well,
can we not just
they
give them?
are better. So.
Can we not just give them their own Overwatch League?
No, hold up. Come on, bro. You can't separate people like that.
Why not? If they have enough, no, I don't know. There's potential there. They have a lot of good players over there.
You don't want to split that, because the Western players that are involved are good enough. That's why there's less of them, because only the ones that are good enough and make it in. Whereas like the good Koreans and the bad Koreans get in, but only the good Western players get in.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. Fine.
Fine.
Yeah, that's
Any
fine.
closing remarks? Chipsa, Fissure, Tier 2, national off tanks.
I'm just hoping Chipsa pops off. I want to see him do good. Also, I am anticipating he's gonna piss someone off on his stream somehow. But that might not happen. To give him the benefit of the doubt. He's gonna have to put reformed in his title. Just as the friends doing. That's fine.
You have to make a mistake before you can reform.
Yeah, I guess so. No, well, no, not really, right?
Well.
I can accept.
Generally, people don't reform until they're punished.
I can accept God into my life today. Stop drinking. Stop smoking. Good.
Okay, so closing remarks. Blizzard, fix Tier 2, fix Tier 3, fix the competitive game, cake for Owl,
Hell yeah.
and cut?
That's a cut, yeah. Thank you, Moira Mains.
Oh yeah,
Fuck
Moira Mains. Y'all a bunch of boomer Moira Mains. We hate you all. Like, subscribe. Yes.
Don't play Moira. Stop playing Moira. Accept it. She's gone.
She's dead. Next week. It's delayed till next week when we get Winter Wonderland.
You have one more week.
Delayed for neatness, but you know that's another point. And anything
follow
else?
us everywhere.
All good. Yeah, follow us on Twitter. We're on Twitter. We've got a Discord. We've got a YouTube. And cut.
Suck my damage or.